the Tower of London. A name that echoes through history, synonymous with power, intrigue, and unspeakable horrors. For almost 1,000 years, this imposing fortress has stood guard over the River Thames, a silent witness to the ebb and flow of English history. Within its walls, kings have plotted, queens have fallen, and secrets have been buried, their whispers lingering in the cold stone like trapped shadows. More than a palace, more than a prison, the Tower of London is a monument to the enduring allure of power and the terrible price it often demands. It has been a royal residence, a treasury, a menagerie, and even an observatory. But it is its role as a prison, a place of confinement and execution, that has indelibly stained its stones with dread. Here some of England's most famous figures met their tragic ends, their stories adding to the grim tapestry of the Tower's legend. Royalty, nobles and commoners alike have felt the Tower's cold embrace, accused of treason, heresy, or simply being inconvenient to the reigning monarch. The Tower's history is a chronicle of violence and intrigue, a stage upon which the dramas of English history have played out for centuries. Within its walls, plots were hatched, secrets whispered, and lives extinguished, often in the most brutal of ways. The Tower's execution site, Tower Green, is a stark reminder of the price of power in turbulent times. Among the most notorious executions were those of 3 of Henry VIII's 6 wives. Anne Boleyn, accused of adultery and treason, met her end on the scaffold in 1536, her ghost said to still roam the Tower grounds. Catherine Howard, Henry's 5th wife, followed Anne to the block just 4 years later. And Lady Jane Grey, the 9 Days Queen, was beheaded in 1554, a tragic pawn in the struggle for the throne. In 1605, the gunpowder plotters, who had attempted to blow up Parliament, were captured and tortured within the Tower's dungeons. Their leader, Guy Fawkes, was executed for treason, his name forever linked to the infamous plot. Perhaps the most enduring and haunting tale associated with the Tower of London is that of the princes in the Tower. In 1483, following the death of their father, King Edward IV, the young princes Edward V and his brother Richard, Duke of York, were confined to the Tower for their protection by their uncle Richard, Duke of Gloucester. Declared illegitimate heirs, the princes vanished from the Tower, their fate remaining one of the greatest unsolved mysteries in English history. In 1674, during renovations to the Tower, a wooden chest containing the skeletons of 2 children was discovered beneath a staircase in the White Tower. Despite ongoing debate and speculation, the true fate of the princes in the Tower remains shrouded in mystery. Their story a chilling reminder of the ruthless nature of power. The story of Anne Boleyn, second wife of Henry VIII, is one of the most dramatic and tragic in the annals of the Tower of London. Anne, a woman of intelligence, wit and ambition, rose from relative obscurity to become Queen of England, only to fall from grace in a swift and brutal turn of events. Her story, intertwined with the Tower's history, is a tale of love, betrayal, and the capricious nature of power. Anne's relationship with Henry VIII was a scandal from the start. The king, desperate for a male heir and enamoured with Anne's charm, annulled his marriage to Catherine of Aragon, defying the Pope and throwing England into religious turmoil. Accused of adultery, incest and treason, charges widely believed to be fabricated by her enemies, Anne was arrested and imprisoned in the Tower in 1536. Her trial, a sham orchestrated by Henry and his advisors, sealed her fate. Found guilty on all charges, Anne was condemned to death, her execution sending shockwaves through the court and across Europe. Lady Jane Grey, the 9 Days Queen. The brief and tragic reign of Lady Jane Grey is another poignant chapter in the Tower's bloody history. A pawn in a deadly game of power, Jane, a devout Protestant, was thrust onto the throne at the tender age of 15, only to be deposed and executed just 9 days later. Upon the death of Edward VI, the young king who had named Jane his heir, England was plunged into a succession crisis. Jane, reluctant but duty-bound, accepted the crown, only to find herself facing opposition from Mary and her supporters. Condemned to death for high treason, Jane and her husband Guildford Dudley met their end on the scaffold on Tower Green in 1554. The Tower's other inhabitants, prisoners of conscience and more. While the Tower of London is perhaps best known for its royal prisoners and executions, its history is also populated by a diverse cast of characters from all walks of life. Among the Tower's most famous prisoners of conscience were the Catholic recusants, men and women who refused to renounce their faith during the reigns of Elizabeth I and James I. One such prisoner was Jesuit priest Edmund Campion, who was arrested in 1581, tortured on the rack, and later hanged, drawn and quartered for his faith. Sir Walter Raleigh, a renowned explorer, writer and courtier, was imprisoned in the Tower on 3 separate occasions, accused of treason and conspiracy. During his final imprisonment, Raleigh was allowed some comforts, even conducting scientific experiments and writing his history of the world. Echoes in the stone tales of the Tower's ghosts. Over the centuries, the Tower of London has become synonymous with tales of the supernatural, its dark history giving rise to a plethora of ghost stories and legends. One of the most frequently cited apparitions is that of Anne Boleyn, her spectral figure said to haunt the Tower Green, where she was executed. Some witnesses claim to have seen her walking the grounds, her head tucked under her arm, while others report seeing a white lady, believed to be Anne, gliding through the Tower's corridors. Another famous Tower ghost is that of Sir Walter Raleigh, who is said to appear in the Bloody Tower where he was imprisoned. And then there are the 2 young princes, Edward and Richard, whose tragic fate continues to haunt the Tower. The crown jewels and the Tower's enduring legacy. Today, the Tower of London stands as a powerful symbol of English history, its imposing walls and towers a reminder of the country's turbulent past. No longer a prison, the Tower has been transformed into one of the United Kingdom's most popular tourist attractions, drawing millions of visitors each year, eager to explore its history and marvel at its architectural splendour. One of the Tower's biggest draws is the crown jewels, a priceless collection of crowns, sceptres, orbs and other regalia, representing the monarchy's power and majesty. Guarded by the yeoman warders, more commonly known as beefeaters, the crown jewels are a dazzling display of wealth and craftsmanship, a testament to the enduring allure of monarchy. Beyond its historical significance, the Tower of London has also played a role in shaping English culture and identity. The Tower, today, a site of history and haunting beauty. Despite its dark past, the Tower of London today is a place of vibrant life and activity. Visitors from around the globe flock to its grounds, eager to walk in the footsteps of kings and queens, explore its historic buildings, and learn about its fascinating past. The Tower's beefeaters, with their distinctive red and black uniforms, are a popular attraction themselves, their knowledge of the Tower's history and their colourful anecdotes adding to the visitor experience. The Tower's grounds are also home to a variety of events and activities throughout the year. From historical reenactments to educational programmes, there's something for everyone to enjoy. Conclusion: the Tower of London, where history and horror collide. The Tower of London is more than just a collection of ancient stones and mortar. It is a living, breathing testament to the complexities of human nature, a place where ambition, love, betrayal and cruelty have all left their indelible mark. From the echoes of royal footsteps to the whispers of tortured souls, the Tower's history continues to fascinate and horrify in equal measure. The Tower of London, with its tales of tragedy and triumph, serves as a mirror to our own humanity, reflecting both the darkness and the light that reside within us all. And so the Tower of London stands, a silent sentinel on the banks of the Thames, its history etched into its very stones.